So, and just see where your goals are. And I wanted to share with you my story briefly. So, um, almost a year ago, I chose to do LifeVantage. I was introduced by Melody. I had already been taking the products, and it was February 18 by the time I finally got signed up. But about a year ago, I was introduced. January, it was brought to my attention, and I was like, wow, this sounds like something that I'd like to have in my life. So I can't believe that almost a year has gone by. And throughout that first month, the reason why I wanted to share my story with you guys is because we're all at different levels in our life. We're all busy. We have different things happening. But um, basically, I'm just going to share my story, and then I'll share a few points of what I learned. But in that first month of January, I had several setbacks. I was like, I really, really want to be a part of this business. I really want to share with people the gift of health, this gift that's blessed me in my life. And I didn't really know where it would go, but I did know that I wanted people to be blessed, and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I had different goals that I had started thinking about. So it took me over a month and a half to save up and to purchase the gold package. So I was first thinking I'll just get a smaller package, but then I decided, well, I really want the gold package because I want to try a lot of the products. And I first told my husband about this business, and he was like, I don't want you to do that. I don't think that you need that. I don't think you can just buy the products. And I was like, well, I really want to do it. So after we had discussed it back and forth for a while, we agreed on a certain percentage. We agreed on only $400 that I could use for the business. And I created my own separate bank account. I put in only $400 for that purchase, but I still had quite a bit left to get to the gold pack. And I'm sharing with you guys openly and honestly. Sometimes when you have a new distributor sign up, sometimes you can help them a little bit. So Melody was understanding of my situation, and she helped me by giving me, I think she gave me $200 or $150 towards my package. I don't remember exactly. But then my bank account came up a little bit farther, and I also worked on some crafts, and I had to decide how I was going to make up that extra amount. So then I made up that extra amount. It took me about a month and a half, like I said, to get up to the gold pack, which is like 700 and some dollars, or 600 and some dollars, but then with the tax and everything. So after that, every month, I knew that I had different goals to reach towards. I knew that if I didn't create my income, I wouldn't be paying for my products, because the goal I had been given, which I was willing to do, my husband and I agreed on, was that every month I had to create enough to pay for my own products. So it's nice to be able to have goals like that no matter where you are, but to be able to create enough to at least pay for your products. Um, so the first month, my very first month, I didn't make anything. Well, I did make enough. I made $141 just by new customers. And I remember I had worked almost every day of that month, like thinking about my list. I think it was from February 18 to like the end of March. I had worked every day thinking about who I could talk to. I had called people. I had, explored the Facebook groups. I had done everything that Melody told me to do. I had not done a launch, but I got, I think, 3 or 4 customers that month by talking to people at work, by connecting them with Melody. So I got $141. I remember thinking, this is the hardest I've ever worked for $141. And I'm sharing this with you because we're all at different levels. But then my next month, so every month you get a bonus for your first, like for your first time customers, but every month you also get paid a reoccurring check for the month before. So my next month I got paid on the 15th, and guess what my first reoccurring check was? My first reoccurring check was only $4. And I remember thinking, only $4? What am I doing? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't, I know that I like the products. Okay, well, I'm going to keep taking them and we'll see what happens. And I remember thinking that Pro 1 was so far away. How would I even reach that? And even at Pro 1, I'd only be making like whatever I made on the first time commissions and then whatever I made monthly. Anyway, I have an income. I kept track of my income um, for the every month, and I'm not going to share everything with you guys for the sake of time. But basically, in the month of March, I earned about $150. Month of April, I only earned $92, et cetera, et cetera. Every month, I earned about $100. Month of June, closer to $200, and that's on new customers and reoccurring income. Suffice to say, a year later, the month of December, my monthly check, my reoccurring income check, was about $600 a year later. So what I'm trying to say is that it builds so exponentially that you don't even realize what's happening if you are consistent every day. The month of May, the month of June, I didn't really do anything. I was like stressed out with my work. I was stressed out with life. I had different things going on, personal issues. So every month builds if you are consistent. The other thing I wanted to share with you all is that every month, even before I was a distributor, when I was taking my products every month, well, actually, before I say that, I just wanted to say that from this movie that I watched the other day, if anyone wants the title afterward, I can share it with you. But I really like Christian movies and inspirational films. But it was talking about high schoolers running a race and kind of thinking about the race of life. And I know that network marketing is not always a big, like, some people really have a negative view of network marketing. Some people really don't understand what it is. And obviously you have to do it the right way. But from this story about the race, these girls that were training, they were training a different way than everyone else. And everyone else thought that they would fail. A second. Everyone else thought that they would fail. Everyone else laughed at them. And I was thinking also about, they brought in correlations from Jesus' life here on earth, that everyone didn't really understand what his mission was. They thought he was going to be, you know, some great king, some great ruler, etc. But he had a different plan, a different mission than everyone thought. And that's kind of, I never want to say like compare network marketing too much to spiritual things, because we don't want to assume that like God's gonna, how do I say it, bless us, or that it's up to God whether we win or lose. Like, it's up to us. But these correlations that I was thinking about yesterday are basically that in network marketing, people are going to misunderstand us. People are going to sometimes think, what in the world are they doing? Are they just trying to sell us? Are they just trying to get our money? Or they're going to laugh and say it doesn't work. Like a lot of people told me, it doesn't work. Somebody that I won't name the name of, but somebody higher up in my church that is a leader in my church, not a relative of mine or anything, but somebody that's a leader in my church, was very kind to me. But they said, on average, you're probably not going to make more than $100 in a year, but I'm glad you're having fun. And I was like, okay, great. And the thing is, if we listen to all those messages, if we listen to all those people laughing at us, and if we stick to the traditional way of doing things, we're never going to grow, and we're never going to, how do I say it? I'm a little bit competitive. We're never going to prove them wrong. And basically, I just wanted to stop on here and say thank you all for your support. My parents are distributors, but they're not as actively doing the business, but they're one of my biggest supports. Petra has always been there working with me since she started. Naomi has always been encouraging, and Elliot has always been supportive as well, even when things haven't worked out perfectly with his account. We're working and praying on that. And Jessica is a special friend that just joined as well, Petra's daughter. Cheryl, I've just gotten to know you, and there's a couple other people that have just joined our team that are going to be hopping on on board. But I just want you all to know that I appreciate all of your support. I'm not in this specifically to, how do I say it? I'm in this to be different, to create a, to not have limits. That's what I wrote down here that I wanted to share, was that when you have options, when you overcome fears, you don't have limits. And you realize how much you are capable of. So this can apply to anything in life. I know that like some of you are at different levels, but anything in life, you can realize that you can overcome little by little, and you become stronger, and you don't have limits. You don't feel limited. I was listening to, I think it was from our GoPro training, but this is the last thing I'm going to share with you guys, is that he told, I really don't remember the name of the speaker, I'm sorry, but he told a story about an activity he always had people do at trainings, where one person stood in the middle of the room and they had a rope around them, and then the rope was tied to people on the outside of the room. And so there was maybe 10 people around and one person in the middle. And he said that they had to get out of the middle, but they couldn't talk. And I don't remember exactly, I'm sorry, I'm not doing very good at explaining this, but, and Jonathan's distracting me. But basically, they had a blindfold on. The person in the middle had a blindfold on, and the people on the outside had to somehow get them across the room without talking to them. And then they also flipped the situation where the people on the outside had a blindfold and the person in the middle didn't, and the person in the middle had to get across the room. And the hardest one was the second example, where the person in the middle had to get across the room, and they couldn't tell everyone, to come along with them, and they all had blindfolds on, and it was just chaos. And the leader, the person directing the activity, said, the only thing is you can't talk. He kept saying that. The only thing is you can't talk. But then they realized halfway through the experiment that they could actually take the ropes off, and they could walk out of the whole situation. They could take the ropes off and they could walk across the room to the other side of the room, the person in the middle. And why I'm telling that story is basically, what are the ropes that are holding you back from getting your dreams and your goals and your things in your life that you really want to do? Are you listening to somebody in your life that's distracting you, that's keeping you back? Are you listening to somebody that's telling you negative messages? Are you maybe, for me, I realize that sometimes I spend too much of my time. I have so many hobbies, so many crafts, so many fun things I want to do, spending time with a lot of people. And this new year for me is going to be a year of focusing on what's really important and setting up a weekly schedule so I can maintain those goals. So basically, think about those different people or those different ropes that are holding you back, and how attached are you to them? You may think that you're really, really attached to them. You may really think that there's no way that you can get out of that situation, but there is a way. It might be even simpler than you realize. So that's my message to all of you. I know that some of you have really big goals for the new year. I want to also say that basically, you all know that I'm having a baby in the 1st of June, and between now and the 1st of June is going to be run time for me in our business. So if you have a goal, like, let's say, I think it's very obtainable. I'm not going to say where all of you guys are at, but if you have a goal to get to the next level, if you have a goal to get to 2 levels before June, let me know, because I want to help you get there. And I will connect you with other people that will help to train you. I will work with you. But no matter where you're at, I really appreciate all of you. And I just wanted to hop on here. If any of you have anything you want to say, And I wanted to say that I also really appreciate Melody for always being there and supporting me and believing in me and making it possible as well.
I just want to say, Rachel, that you're an amazing leader. I've really loved working with you and how teachable and coachable you've been to always just do the next thing to implement growth, not only in yourself, but also in how you can serve others and grow as a leader. And you've just been really teachable and coachable. And I want to say huge congratulations for reaching Pro 4 in November, but then also maintaining it in December. November and December can be some of the best months for network marketing, but they can also be some of the hardest because of the juggle between family life and holidays and just all the crazy. And you reached and maintained some of the biggest goals during that time. And it's all just been because of your service and, you know, helping others and that servant leadership that is really what everyone, you know, wants. So I just want to say how proud I am of you and how much I've seen you grow. And I'm excited for this whole team because 2020 is really the beginning of a new chapter for each and every one of us. And we all have that ability to make a decision of what we're going to choose to do for our own lives. Because, you know, Rachel shared her story of what she's decided to do, but ultimately, you know, each of us have the ability to make a decision for ourselves because, you know, we're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. So when we take ownership of our business, that's when really incredible things happen. So I've seen that Rachel has done that, and she's a great mentor and coach. And I just want to say congratulations again. We love you.
I want to say thank you for the presentation today. The products have made a lot of difference in the health of the people that we've tried it. And I think it's amazing. We talk about multi-level. Every business is multi-level, whether it's a store or whether it's
brick and mortar.
this. So, you know, I think we need to remember that we're trying to help people's lives, and it has made a big difference in the lives of the people we know that have taken it. And I appreciate you all who are putting the time to put work into it. Those of us that don't have time, we just appreciate that.
I want to add into that because I know that Rachel is super busy. So, you know, with everything that you have to juggle and to still, you know, reach out to us and make sure that we have the information, you know, always giving us new resources. So truly appreciate it. And I didn't even know what Melody just shared, you know, November and December. And definitely you have been, you know, consistent throughout the year. You couldn't even tell that those would be some of the most difficult months. So thank you for everything you do, and may God continue to bless us as a team, as a whole, and as well as in our individual efforts.
If anyone has to go, I know Petri might have to go, but thank you guys so much for coming on. And if anyone else wants to reach out to me, they can. I just wanted to let you know that I will be sending out my personal schedule to all of you guys. I have a new schedule for myself, my working hours. I'm going to be working about 3 days a week on LifeVantage for about 4 hours. So I'm going to be sending those out. That's my goal, to have specific time for LifeVantage, so I can also have specific time for my family. And I really want to be able to focus on any of you that want to grow during that time that I have to work on this. So I'll be sending out my schedule to all of you guys, and I hope you have an awesome new year. And I also just, I want you all to be able to reach your goals too. So reach out to me. Does anyone else have anything to say, or shall we end it? Good? Okay.